Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining me very early today. It's about 6:30 a.m. where I am. I woke up about 4:45 this morning and I just never went back to sleep. So instead of I was laying in bed, I was just flipping the channels, watching a little TV, hitting the iPad, catching some news. And I thought I'd do a Sunday morning talk. I was reading a little bit before I went to bed last night. I've been thinking about, actually it was in my mind a good bit riding down to Pensacola yesterday when I went down. And it's been in my mind the last few days, and I'm talking about compassion. I was thinking about something last week that really kind of sparked it, and it was, I don't give myself a hard time for my feelings, but you know, you always try to work internally on yourself. And I was kind of, not struggling, but kind of going through this thing where asking myself, like, why do I find it easier to be compassionate for some people than I do for others? I mean, you know, I guess if we're really practicing compassion, we should practice it without any limits or without any judgments whatsoever. But for some reason, I find some people easier to be compassionate for. Some people, and it's not for me to judge, I just feel like they're whiners all the time, and I just, while I don't have any bad feelings toward them, I just feel like focusing my energy in another direction. I am getting a little bit, people are gonna probably start saying, you're a little strange, man. I don't know, I don't have I don't have near as much tolerance or compassion and all that for first world problems or little petty stuff as I do for people that don't eat. You know, people that have real stuff going on in their life. But not for me to judge what people's stuff is their stuff, because, you know, maybe people would look at my stuff. But anyhow, bought a little magazine yesterday. This caught my eye. I was in a little health food store, and this is, might see the cover from here. I'm not going to get up. Shambhala Sun. And the very first, I don't know, I will admit, get up a little bit if you can read that. Compassion. That's what caught my eye. And I looked at the cover and I thought I liked what I saw enough to buy it. And then I got home and I was reading a little bit before I went to bed last night. This isn't so much about compassion, but let me just read this quote before I go into where I want to start. And this is just really nice. If you want to be unhappy, think of yourself. If you want to be happy, think of others. This is, by the way, this is just Buddhist wisdom for our time. But compassion, I got in and I started reading it, and it went kind of in a different direction than I thought, so I just thought this would be nice to share. And it really doesn't, you know, don't get caught up in the Buddhism thing. You don't have to be a Buddhist to to appreciate any of this, but the actual title of the article I was reading is How to Be a Bodhisattva. And, you know, to be quite honest with me, all of the stuff is words, whether it's philosophies, religions, whatever. You're generally using one word for another, so I don't think there would be anybody that, after reading or understanding anything about a bodhisattva, that would have a problem with being described as such. But anyhow, it may seem like an unattainable ideal, but you can start right now as a bodhisattva in training. All you need is the aspiration to put others first and some helpful guides like these. Everyone is your guest. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche on your life as a future bodhisattva. Many Mahayana scriptures speak of inviting all sentient beings as our guest. When we invite a guest, we have a sense of the importance of that relationship. Guests are usually fed special food and receive extra hospitality. The life of a bodhisattva is relating with all sentient beings as guests. The bodhisattva invites everyone as a guest, constantly offering a feast. Inviting all sentient beings as our guest is the starting point of applying compassion in the Mahayana. By viewing sentient beings as guests, the bodhisattva has a constant sense of the important impermanence of the relationship, because eventually all guests leave. So we view the time with our guests as precious. There is a sense of the preciousness and the impermanence of the relationship. Our guest may be our husband, our wife, or our child. Everybody is the guest of everybody, constantly. On a day-to-day level, all relationships for a bodhisattva are based on relating with guests. Compassion is a combination of maitri, or loving kindness, and generosity. It is a journey outward, a journey of communication. On one level, compassion is feeling friendly toward ourselves. On another level, it is expecting a sense of richness that we can expand the warmth we feel toward ourselves to other sentient beings. It is said in the scriptures that just as a fish cannot live without water, compassion cannot develop without egolessness and without the experience of emptiness, or shunyata. It may seem that this view of compassion is somewhat abstract, but in fact it is at the heart of the practice of meditation and action. The presence of compassion is experienced as a sudden glimpse, a sense of clarity and warmth simultaneously. According to the scriptures, that glimpse, if you analyze it, takes 1/60th of a second. It is so fast and so sharp. The sharpness is the intelligence of the compassion. Compassion also means being open and communicative. It contains warmth. So first there is maitri, trusting in the heart. Second, there is a gap in which you experience the openness of Tathagata Garbha, or Buddha nature. Third, there's the sense of communication. Having already woken up at that level, there's a sense of freedom to expand and to relate with your actions, whatever you are doing. Baby steps to kindness. The path of compassion, says Judy Leaf, starts with stepping out of your usual storyline. Here are 5 ways to do it. It is amazing how often we think we are out in the world interacting with and helping others, when actually we are simply acting out our preconceived internal storyline. Our vision is clouded, and we can only take in what feeds into the plot line. One way to soften this pattern is by exploring some basic steps that can lead us in the direction of kindness. Instead of trying to will ourselves to be kind, presto, we can create an atmosphere congenial to the development of loving kindness. Here are 5 small steps to kindness you can practice. You can explore these steps singularly or in combination. The idea is that if you create the right atmosphere, compassion naturally arises. It is already present, just waiting for your invitation. Settle down. There has to be a here to be a there, and a connection between the two. So the first step is to slow down and let your mind settle enough that you're able to drop from the heights of conceptuality back into your body, a simple form in space. Can you really feel present in your body as it is, right where you are? Second is, be in the moment. Now that you're more solidly somewhere, you can let yourself be more clearly sometime. When your thoughts shift from the past or the future, from memories and regrets to plans and dreams, you can gently bring yourself back to the present moment. Drop escape routes. Stay put in the particular place and time, just the way it is. Pay attention to space. Notice the quality of space within you and around you. Pay attention to the boundaries of your physical body and the space in front, behind, and on each side of you. Also pay attention to the mental, emotional space that accommodates the comings and goings of sensations, thoughts, moods, and emotional upheavals. Whatever arises as an outer or inner level, whatever arises on an outer or inner level, notice the space in which both you and your perception rest. The last one, share the space. Explore what it is like to share the space with whoever is there with you. Notice the power of accommodation, acceptance, and non-judging. When you sense the arising of territoriality and fear, accommodate that too in greater spaciousness. And also, you deserve compassion too. Compassion makes no distinction between self and others, says Christina Feldman. Care for your own suffering in the same way you care for others. Some people, carrying long histories of a lack of self-worth or denial, find it difficult to extend compassion toward themselves. Aware of the vast suffering in the world, they may feel it is self-indulgent to care for their own aching body, broken heart, or confused mind. Yet this too is suffering, and genuine compassion makes no distinction between self and other. The Buddha once said that you could search the whole world and not find anyone more deserving of your love and compassion than yourself. Yet too many people find themselves directing levels of harshness, demand, and judgment inward that they would never dream of directing toward another person, knowing the harm that would be incurred. They are willing to do to themselves what they would not do to others. The path of compassion is altruistic but not idealistic. Walking this path, we are not asked to lay down our life, find a solution for all the struggles in this world, or immediately rescue all beings. The path of compassion is cultivated one step and one moment at a time. Each of those steps lessens mountains of sorrow in the world. I always like the Buddhist takes on things. They just kind of, they know how to zone in and get right to the heart of the matter. I thought that would maybe speak to other people. I'll tell you, as far as the self-compassion, I know people, ever since I've been around this raw food world and people talk about their feelings and emotions and stuff, I hear about this self-love and loving yourself and being compassionate with yourself. Now, for me, that's not a problem. I almost feel indulgent sometimes, like maybe, and I hope it's just that I forgive myself things and I am compassionate with myself and I don't rationalize things in my life, because I don't have any problems with myself. I never had any problems with myself, even when I lived another way. But many people do. And that is the first, and you have to get through that barrier. You have to even understand that you can't understand and feel compassion, or you can't be present for other people, you can't help other people until you're okay with yourself. And I like the part where it talks about it's a step-by-step process. It's something we work on. It's not, we beat ourselves up for not having the proper feelings or the feelings that we feel like we should have at any given time, when in reality our feelings are our feelings. When something arises, I even try not to judge myself too harshly. We all have bad feelings at times. We all have negative feelings. We all have thoughts and feelings that we wish we didn't have. But they come up for a reason, and the more we try to focus on pushing them away, the harder it is to, we just kind of get frustrated. When in fact, I think all we can do is really examine those feelings. But anyhow, this is a little rambling on it's not on any one focus of compassion, but just something I had for thoughts, and I thought it'd make a nice early morning Sunday talk. I hope you just enjoyed a little bit of thought this morning. Nothing really about the food, but like I like to keep throwing in every once in a while, it's more than about food in this life. Anyhow, I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. We're going to have a gray day around here today, so to be quite honest, I know a lot of you guys aren't into being lazy and stuff out there. A lot of people in our world are like, go, 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 we got to be getting stuff done. Well, I'm going to probably have a lazy Sunday. I'm going to do some nice reading today. Kick back, probably take a nap, seeing as how I got up so early this morning. Anyhow, I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season with your family, and I love you all. Peace.